Making Tracks is brought to you with assistance from our mates at STA Travel.
Thank you!
All my life I've been obsessed with music, and by the time I was a teenager, I realised I was surrounded by some of the world's greatest musicians right here in my own backyard. We all know our musicians are brilliant, but most of the world doesn't get a chance to hear them. So I'm on a mission to promote our music to the world and uncover the world's music along the way. From taking over a radio station to covers of seminal New Zealand tracks performed by some of the world's most influential artists. This show aims to take New Zealand music to the world and bring the world's music back to New Zealand. My first destination is Brazil and the cities of São Paulo and Rio de Janeiro. Music here is diverse and runs the range from gentle bossa nova to the pure exhilaration of samba. From the gritty sounds of the São Paulo clubs to the rawness of the tunes from the dirty and dangerous favelas. Brazilians are damn proud of their sounds and they aren't shy about sharing them. I'm here to get a taste of those sounds, give a little taste back, and to see what a couple of huge Kiwi anthems sound like with a Brazilian twist. I'm offering She Hearts You Again and Shapeshifter's massive Bring Change. I'm excited. We're in Brazil, and I tell you what, I am excited. I might look like crap, tired eyes, messy hair, even a bit of stubble for the first time in my life, but it has been a very long flight. You know, you think New Zealand, South America, yep, one quick flight, but no, we did some crazy crisscrossing all over America and ended up flying for 36 hours, but I don't mind because I'm very happy to be here in the heart, the very epicenter of the musical scene, which is Rio de Janeiro. Now, whenever I find myself in a new country, it's always good to get a good lay of the land. I'd heard that Rio de Janeiro has one of the most stunning views in the world, so it was off to the top of the Corcovado to see for myself. Ladies and gentlemen, Rio de Janeiro. They say it's one of the most amazing cities in the world, and I'm going to have to agree. Now, we've got Christ the Redeemer up here, overlooking the city, redeeming, forgiving Rio de Janeiro for its sins, and there's been a fair few over the years. Now, we've got Sugarloaf Mountain over here, not actually made of sugar, in case anyone was wondering out there. So if this is the perfect spot to see the full beauty of Rio de Janeiro, it's down there on the beach that we need to head to now to feel the vibe of Rio de Janeiro. And I love vibe. Rio de Janeiro, Rio de Janeiro. Rio de Janeiro, Rio de Janeiro, Rio de Janeiro, Rio de Janeiro. It was a perfect day at the beach and a perfect place to meet my guide and translator for the trip, Chico. Well, the sun's shining, I've got my shorts on, Chico. I really feel like I am in Rio right now. I mean, just to give people an idea, just how much does the city revolve around beaches like this?
The beach is the backbone of the city, so it's quite natural that people gather here to have fun, do some sports, surf, jog a little bit. It's all about being beautiful and happy.
Are all those cliches about Brazilian women on the beach true? They're all gorgeous, they're wearing next to no clothing, and they've got very, how do I say, tight buns.
Well, the curves are all right. Yeah, all the angles.
For you, Chico, when you know, after so many years of just seeing all these beautiful goddesses, do you get kind of desensitized, maybe just long for a sweet little girl from Masterton?
Well, maybe, as long as they're friendly.
They are friendly, Chico. This city does have a dark side, though, and it can strike at any time. Rio is one of the most dangerous cities in the world, with most of the trouble coming from the shanty towns or favelas. I'm heading to City of God, an area created as a safe alternative to the impoverished and crime-stricken favelas. Sadly, those same problems affected City of God, as documented in the 2002 film of the same name. It's an intimidating place, as City of God, but I'm here to get a taste of the music that is its soundtrack, Baile Funk, and I was meeting with one of the leading MCs of the scene, Daisy Tigrona. Baile Funk is a percussive style that revolves around big bass lines and heavy use of sampling, and so Daisy's going to help us turn this into something that sounds like this. are you? Thank you,
bem.
thank you so much for inviting us around. It's a pleasure.
Bom, a música ainda não tá pronta, nós temos que ir até o estúdio.
Yeah, we should the studio?
Sim.
Obrigado. You got that? Yeah, it's good. Tell us about the City of God.
Ah, é muito bom morar aqui. Eu moro aqui desde que nasci. E aqui na Cidade de Deus é o berço do funk. Então, eu sou MC já tem uns 10 anos. Comecei em 97, só que 2005 é que deu uma arredondada boa e consegui a fama e o nome que eu tenho hoje em dia.
Where she cut her teeth with the weekly funk balls, organised by the local drug lords. Now, historically, the funk balls were incredibly dangerous, with gangs fighting in the infamous corridors of death. But in the 10 years Daisy's been emceeing, she's seen immense change.
Quando eu comecei, só tinha baile de briga. Não tinha o baile onde todo mundo dançava, principalmente os homens. Eles não dançavam. Eles iam pro baile para brigar no corredor, lá do A, lá do B, né? E aqui nós conseguimos mudar isso. Todas as comunidades mesmo, porque hoje em dia todos os homens rebolam, dançam, se acabam no funk.
Ballet funk lyrics, more often than not, revolve around life in the favelas, their love of the music, and in most cases, hot, sweaty sex. Ironically enough though, Daisy's biggest hit internationally, Injection, was about one of the unsexiest things ever, a trip to the doctors.
Eu, jogando bola, cortei o pé, tomei vegetacil. Fui pegar bola num quintal, fiquei presa no espinho das roseiras, tomei vegetacil. Fui passar, caiu uma panela de água quente nas costas, eu tive que ir ao médico, tomei vegetacil. Tudo isso num mês.
She says it's just about a trip to the doctors, but I think there's a bit of double meaning in there. I'll let you be the judge. The success of ballet funk and artists like Daisy has inspired the youth of the favelas, who now see music as a way out of favela life.
Cidade de Deus é o melhor, menina.
Antigamente, nas favelas todas, você perguntava para os menorzinhos: o que você quer ser quando você crescer? Aí eles diziam que queriam ser jogador de futebol. Hoje em dia, eles dizem que quer ser MC. MC ou DJ.
I've seen what Daisy can do in the streets, and after the break, I'll see what she does in the studio with Shehad's classic You Again. I'll also meet a bossa nova legend and get all sweaty with a taste of Carnival. I'm deep in the heart of the infamous City of God, on the outskirts of Rio de Janeiro in Brazil, with MC Daisy Tigrona. We're heading to the studio of DJ Duda, one of the originators of the music known as ballet funk, who is going to take Shehad's classic You Again and turn it into something that sounds a bit like this.
Oi.
Olá, tudo bem?
Tudo bem? Pode entrar?
Fica à vontade.
Cheiro de macarrão. Tá fazendo macarrão?
Nick, hola. New Zealand.
Bem-vindo.
Yeah, it's a great studio, man. So you guys finished the track?
Tá quase pronta a música. O início tá encaixado ou você mexeu na guitarra? Mexeu
a guitarra
não?
mesmo. É questão de ouvir, olhar o tempo, o beat, o tempo de velocidade do sample. Pra mim foi fácil, não foi complicado não. Foi até legal, foi uma experiência nova.
Ballet funk is based around the use of samples. So DJ Duda sampled the main Shehad riff, chopped it up, added a trademark ballet funk beat, and handed it over to Daisy, who added lyrics proclaiming her love of the music and inviting the New Zealand audience to join her at the Funk Balls. The only thing that was missing was a music video.
Eu adoro o baile funk, onde eu vou me divertir. Marquinha de biquíni faz o mundo sacudir. Me estimula a cantar e fazer você dançar. Vem na dança da bundinha que você vai se acabar. Mas eu adoro funk, minha mãe adora funk. O mundo adora funk, eu disse dance, balance assim. Sol, 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 faz muito calor nesse verão. Rão, rão, mais tarde eu vou curtir o pancadão. Dão, dão, baile funk não é terror nesse mundão. Eu disse não, já virou exportação.
Sol, quer dizer, ela é uma música bem comercial. Ela é comercial. Ela não é muito sensual. Eu tô pensando em botar num CD aqui. Será?
Nesse mundão eu disse não, já virou exportação.
If Ballet Funk is the soundtrack of the favelas, then the soundtrack to the prettier side of Rio de Janeiro is the gentle sound of bossa nova. And I've got an intimate date with a man who has done much for the music over the years. Oh, exciting times, exciting times, exciting times. Got my excited face on. Just about to meet up with one of the most legendary bossa nova artists of all time, Mr. Marcos Valle. I heard he looks a little bit like David Lee Roth, bit of a rock star, at his own home here in Rio de Janeiro. Listen. Marcos!
Oh, look.
Pleasure to meet you, man.
My pleasure.
Marcos Valle is one of the most legendary figures in bossa nova. Inspired by the music of greats like Tom Jobim and João Gilberto, he started playing as a teenager and in 1964 released his very first album.
I think that bossa nova, first of all, has a sensuality, is fantastic. And the melodies are very simple. Like my song, you can whistle.
Você viu, só que amor, nunca vi coisa assim. E passou nem para o mas olhou só pra mim. Se voltar, vou atrás, vou pedir, vou falar. Vou dizer que o amor foi feitinho pra dar. Olha, é como o verão.
I remember exactly the moment that I heard the first time bossa nova. God, this is incredible, fantastic. So then I became in love with bossa nova, né?
This year, Bossa Nova is celebrating its 50th birthday. Happy birthday, Bossa Nova! A style of music whose sweet melodies and harmonies will always evoke images of the sun-kissed Rio de Janeiro. Would you say the true heart and soul of Marcos Valle's music comes from this place?
Ah, yeah, for sure. I need this. I need the sun and the beach, my friends. I need my sons, you know. I need this atmosphere, you know. I think without this, I wouldn't write music for sure.
Hey Maria, Papa said, you better go to bed. Maria, Mama said, you better go to bed. And he does said, you better go to bed. The older brother said, you heard the Papa said, you better go.
I think that I have a very young spirit inside me. I'm 64, you know, but I don't feel like 64. Never, never. Even in my personal life, I like to do exercise, go surfing. I still go surfing with my kids. So I think that reflects me in my career, in my music.
Meu Deus, onde já se viu é tanto calor. Ai, ai.
Whereas many of Bossa Nova's artists stayed with a particular sound, Marcos is one of few who constantly evolved, collaborating with many different artists and electronic producers.
So I like this changing other styles together. I need this, you know, that's what moves me. If it doesn't happen, I can't stay with the same thing all the time, you know. I like what I have done, but I want to do more and with people, different style, different partners. That's perfect. I love to tour. If I could tour 5 times a year, I would do it. But I have to come back and live here, you know.
And come back to Rio to get inspiration to write.
That's for sure.
Samba de verão. E deixo então, falo só, digo ao céu, mas você vem.
Marcos, thank you so much.
My pleasure.
When you think of Rio de Janeiro, the first thing that comes to mind for some people is delightful beaches chocker with extremely delightful women. For others, it's cheap cocaine and the promise of a decent night out. But for most, it's Rio Carnival. What started in the late 19th century with locals parading through the streets has evolved into the sweatiest date on the Brazilian calendar, with the centerpiece being the action that takes place in Rio's own purpose-built stadium. The Mad Max had the Thunderdome, Public Enemy of course had the Terror Dome. Rio de Janeiro on the other hand has the Sambadrome. It's 2 weeks out from the main event and Rio is locked into pre-carnival madness. The city is divided into neighbourhood groups, or samba schools, who'll compete here at the Sambadrome in the hopes of taking first place on the night of Carnival, the most important night out for the cariocas, the people of Rio. The samba is one of the oldest rhythms of Brazil, and to get to the heart of it, I'm heading to the Rocinha Samba School to check out their pre-Carnival dress rehearsal. Rocinha is one of the most dangerous favelas in Rio, inhabited by a lot of guys you really don't want to mess with. But inside, it's more smiles than a creche on Christmas. Turns out, I'm more than welcome. This is the Bateria, the percussive section of the samba group led by its master conductor. Although the scantily clad ladies catch the most attention, it's these guys that are the driving force of the samba rhythm.
O carnaval, pra gente que trabalha na organização, ele não para o ano todo. A gente tem no máximo de 15 a 20 dias de folgas e o restante do ano é carnaval na veia mesmo.
When you take Carnival this seriously, you leave nothing to chance. The samba schools routinely practice on the streets with all the major elements, who will be parading in full costume at the main event.
Alina, just how much pride do communities like Rocinha and other communities around Rio place in samba schools and, of course, in participating in the carnival?
O carnaval é o maior espetáculo da terra para nós brasileiros, principalmente para o povo carioca. Então eles, mais com orgulho, eles desde pequenos eles já são cultivados com aquela cultura do samba, do carnaval, de que no mês de fevereiro vai ter a maior festa, que vai todo mundo sambando, pulando, alegre, feliz.
If Rocinha win the carnival, how happy will they be?
Eu vou ficar muito feliz, muito se a Rocinha ganhar esse carnaval e a gente possa ser campeã novamente.
Really? Oh, obrigado! Beleza, we love Rocinha!
Yeah, coming up after the break, I swapped the beachside beauty for the urban sprawl of São Paulo, meeting up with some pretty legendary names and spreading some classic New Zealand names along the way.
It's not my plane because I've already arrived. I'm here in São Paulo. Looks like Sao Paulo, but it's pronounced São Paulo. Don't be a tourist. Whereas Rio de Janeiro was all about sexy times, sun, beaches, landmarks, São Paulo is very different. It's all about buildings, and more ugly buildings. A big old concrete jungle, basically. I guess if Brazil was the Hilton family, then São Paulo would be Nikki. Definitely not as sexy, but she still puts out.
I'm here to spread some New Zealand love, and as São Paulo has the biggest music scene in Brazil, I'm wanting to meet up with some legendary names along the way. One São Paulo group that's fast caught the attention of the world is Kansai Disasexy, CSS. 5 young arty girls, a super producer guy, and a sound that's very much their own. It's a little bit of rock, it's a little bit of dance, and it's a whole lot of party.
You knew my ideas when they were in my head. They were my secret, evening plans. Wine in bed, then more than again. Wine in bed, then more than again.
I'm meeting CSS guitarist Luisa Zar on a rooftop to get my first proper look at São Paulo, a city where musicians have very different musical influences to their friends over in Rio.
We hated Carnival, like when we were young, we were like, I hate fucking Carnival, and we hated all that Carnival stood for. We grew up listening to Sonic Youth and Bowie and I don't know, like stuff from outside. São Paulo matches much more with the punk rock than like bossa nova, you know? It's kind of a harsh city and it's very dirty and it's very crazy. You feel really different here.
And it's this urban setting that has given rise to the music of bands like CSS, who over the last few years have been taking their own brand of hyperactive ass shaking across the world. Not bad for a band that only 5 years ago couldn't even play their instruments.
It was kind of a joke, you know, and everybody says that, oh, let's form a band. And it was kind of like a reason to just hang out and drink more. Every show was so special. We love to play live. We're really happy, and I think we can deal with so much now because we've been through touring in Brazil, which was insane, and then touring 5 months straight, and then touring a whole year. And if a bomb falls next to us, we're gonna handle it. I think we still have some years.
Luís, all the best in the future. Obrigado.
De nada.
Beleza.
Beleza.
Beleza. So far, Brazil's shown me just how much incredible music she has to give. And so, in true Kiwi fashion, I thought it was about time that I returned the favour.
It's not going to be easy, but I've taken it on myself, my mission, to give this city some proper tunes. Muito legal, huh? Dance. Yes, you're a great dancer. Música de Nova Zelândia, a Caro entregar música de Nova Zelândia. Gift. Tudo bem? Hip hop na Nova Zelândia. Brava dia, legal. De nada. Música de Nova Zelândia. Music of Nova Zelândia. Can you play that on your TV channel? I'd love to get this New Zealand music. Thank you so much. Think you can maybe put it on the radio? Alright. Yeah. Good to see you. Really good. How are you, man? You know Concord Dawn, of course.
Oh yeah, Martin and Eva.
They just finished this, brand new. No one's got it in the world at all. Just for you.
Okay,
brand
lovely.
New thing.
So, yeah, okay. I'm gonna play now. I'm gonna play my radio show. Olá, esse é o Terremoto Drum and Bass Show com DJ Mike aqui na Energia 97 FM, brand new from Concord Down, pra vocês. Check it out.
The Brunettes, B.A.B.Y. Algo novo do Salmonella Dove. Eu não lembro o nome da faixa, mas é do novo álbum. The Czechs, Hunting Whales. O lugar mais ensolarado, provavelmente, da Nova Zelândia. Aqui vocês vão ouvir The Ruby Suns, Kenya Digge.
There you go, São Paulo. You can thank me later. Brazil is world-renowned for its percussion. So I thought I'd catch up with one of the greatest drummers in Brazil. This is Igor, drumming with his good mate Steve. Now, you might be watching at home thinking, oh, he seems all right. But the thing about Igor is he can also do stuff like this. That's because he's actually Igor Cavaleira of heavy metal band Sepultura, the most successful Brazilian band of all time, and a band who got more than a few dirty looks when they started out.
It was very weird to start out a band like Sepultura in 1984 in Brazil, playing like a style of music that nobody pretty much knew about it. It was so underground. A lot of people didn't like what we were doing. And it got to the point where we were making a lot of noise outside of Brazil, and people here, they were still going like, what the hell's going on with this band? I think one of the main differences that Sepultura had over musicians of Brazil going outside is because we didn't play for Brazilians outside. Yes, we are Brazilian, but we're not gonna play the typical Brazilian music. We wanna do something more.
Sepultura took heavy metal and the world by storm in the late 80s and went on to sell millions of albums across the globe. with a lot of eager fans going crazy for Eagles double kick drumming.
In the beginning, I didn't have a double bass drum, so I just took one of my floor toms and borrowed a pedal from a friend, and then I started like doing, you know, double bass. I was really into it and doing a lot of crazy stuff where kids were like blowing their mind, like, oh shit, why are you doing this shit, you know?
As the years went on, Eagles drumming evolved, and by fusing typical metal drumming with Brazilian rhythms, he cemented himself as one of the genre's greatest drummers. Eagle left the band a couple of years back and traded banging heavy beats for another set of banging beats, this time round with his wife Lima and their dance floor project, Mix Hell.
When I started doing Mix Hell with Lima, all this metal, like communities, whatever, they were like, what the hell is Igor doing? He's playing like some dance music.
Everybody
we
hated
hate
you.
him.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's the feeling, I don't know. Somehow I have this challenge always in my head where I need to have a lot of shit against me to make me fight harder for things. It was like bringing me back all the way to '84 when I was like a little kid playing death metal here in Brazil. I like that challenge of like really pushing things to the limit.
These days, Igor spends most of his time answering the question, are you ever gonna drum for Sepultura again, mate? And while there is talk of him rejoining the band, it's the dance floor, rather than the mosh pit, that's got his attention for now.
We're gonna be trying to produce a lot of things, you know, with Mix Hell for this year. Play a lot of gigs and see a lot of the world, you know, and let that influence our work in a really cool way.
Coming up, I celebrate São Paulo's birthday, meet the real-life girl from Ipanema, and Kiwi band Shapeshifters Bring Change gets a reworking by some former favela thugs. Welcome back to our little musical adventure across Brazil, exchanging the sounds of New Zealand for the sounds of this great South American nation, and most importantly, hearing what our music sounds like played by their artists. I've got much more music to uncover, but right now, it's an early start. Today is an important day.
Bom dia. It's São Paulo anniversary day today. And how are they celebrating here in Brazil? With a haka? No. With a piñata? No, don't be silly, that's Mexico. They're celebrating by baking a cake. Beleza.
São Paulo was founded in 1554, and so every year, local bakers bake a cake that's as long as the city is old, adding a metre every year. So this year, it's 454 metres of a pretty average-looking cake, really.
That was a bit naughty, man.
Anticipation's high. Folks have come from all over town armed with buckets and containers to take a piece of history home. A very important day, and one that's being beamed live to homes across Brazil.
Sunglasses at 10:30 a.m. As a presenter, that says to me, I got caned last night. Do you speak English at all?
Yes, I speak, but
yeah,
I have
can I interview you?
Not now, please.
Oh my God, oh my God!
Bolo, fião, é muito bolo, fião. Bolo pra todo mundo, não acaba mais, espera.
Que maluco, né, desgraçado? Tão bonito, né? Fizeram isso.
Pega bolo nos outros.
Deixa de ser cego!
They all get a little bit of sugar in them, they all go crazy. But if anything didn't happen, I told you before about what happens when Brazilians have a little bit too much sugar. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the true dark side of a cake overdose. It was a good cake. I thought it would be bigger. I thought it would be more like the giant cookie time cookie that we baked in Timaru that time and won the record. I knew Timaru. Timaru is a wonderful, magical, mythical place. How do we say happy birthday, São Paulo in
Feliz
your language?
aniversário, São Paulo.
One more time?
Feliz aniversário, São Paulo.
Your
Peace
accent's
and
so much
love.
sexier than mine. Happy birthday, São Paulo.
With a belly full of rotten cake, I could feel a new hunger rising within me. I've been in Brazil for more than a week now and still haven't hit the record shops. And São Paulo has some of the best record digging in the world. So I've linked up with drum and bass DJ Chief, who for the last 10 years has been traveling the world playing his own brand of Brazilian drum and bass. It's a style that he helped pioneer. So when it comes to classic record shopping, this man knows the spots to hit.
All right, Nick, coming here to Tony Hit's shop. When you're hungry, you come in here, look for this man.
Yeah?
Tony, Nick, Tony.
Beleza?
Beleza.
Chief steered me right. Tony may have the most out-of-the-way shop in São Paulo, but it's a treasure trove of classic vinyl from Brazil and all around the world. Get the feeling you have the best time in here, but your wallet will hate you.
I'm telling you. you know how it goes.
So over the years, Chief, this has been the spot that you've got a lot of your samples from in the end?
Yes. Come here and say, Tony, I need this, like this. Then I sing a little bit for him. He tells me like this. Chief, come in this area here. Then I start to just take it up. Oh, no! Yes!
But Chief's taken Brazilian music to all new audiences across the globe by sampling old records like these and adding a little bit of magic on top. For example, check this out. And he made it sound something like this.
And this.
He made it sound a little something like this. Tony, I love the shop. You got some great records, but I think you're lacking in one department. I got some things here that are really spicing up proceedings. Some proper Nova Zelanda beleza. This is my life, John Rawls. Muito legal. Glad I'm not a Kennedy Shona Lang. Muito legal. Split End, Second Thoughts. Muito legal. The Mockers. Muito legal. Graham Brazier, check that shirt out. Muito legal. And the Howard Morrison Quartet. Mind if we sing? Muito legal. He knows it. Beleza. Chief sent me on my way with a list of all these fantastic clubs to check out. But I ignored all of them and instead chose somewhere a little more familiar. Kiora Bar is one of many Kiwi-themed bars across the world serving up a slice of home. But what makes this bar special is their house covers band even perform Kiwi classics. I'm not sure if it was the concrete jungle of São Paulo or a very odd rendition of the dudes that got to me first, but I found myself on a plane back to Rio very quickly and straight to the beach to come face to face with one of the most mythical figures of Brazilian song. Now, I've been lucky enough to be on some famous beaches in my time, but none as famous as this beach here or as beautiful. This is Ipanema Beach, of course, a beach that's so famous because of a song. Song, of course, would be The Girl from Ipanema. We all know it. It goes dun da 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 dun da da dun dun da dun dun da da dun dun. The reason why that song is so special is it's actually a true story. The Girl from Ipanema, she exists. Her name's Hilo Pinheiro, and nearly 50 years ago, the story began. Now, it was the very early 60s. Hilo then was a teenager, a very, very beautiful teenager, and basically everywhere she went, heads would turn, especially a little spot called the Veloso Bar, which she walked past every day. Hey, Papazuda. So it was one day in the winter of 1962 that two men, poet Vinícius de Moraes and musician Tom Jobim, were sitting at the Veloso Bar having a drink when Hilo Pinheiro walked by. Now, so struck by her beauty, they were that they decided to put pen to paper, and instantly a hit was born. Hilo became a superstar. Papazuda, gostosa. The song put Ipanema on the world map. Local landmarks were named after the song and the composers. Hilo became a legend. She now runs her own fashion boutique in the neighborhood. And I gotta say, at 62, she's aged well. Hello.
Hi, Nikki.
How are you?
Hi,
Hello. Oh, nearly got there. Hello, I can see right now. I can see why the inspiration was there.
Oh, thank you. I have many years, not after that.
You still look just as beautiful, if not more. Hilo's boutique doesn't just show off her fashion creations, it's also a museum to her past. Right back to the birth of the girl from Ipanema. This is really beautiful.
Oh yes, this moment is so important for me because he told me, you are my muse inspiration, my muse inspiradora. You are the girl from Ipanema. And I also shine. Stay this way. Oh yes, I don't know, I don't believe that.
So this was the exact moment you were told?
The exact moment.
The song quickly spread out of Brazil and became a phenomenon. And it wasn't long before the world found out just who the girl from Ipanema was.
In the United States, it blew up.
Yes.
And all the people wants to know who is the girl from Ipanema. And Vinicius make the revelation. And I gave many interviews for all the world. And I know many countries that I didn't know before.
And even people coming all the way from New Zealand just to cuddle up to you like that.
Oh, New Zealand.
New Zealand.
Big kiss for you. I want to know. I'm going to stay with him. He invited me, do you know? Yes?
I'm pretty happy. No problems.
Okay.
You can sleep on the couch. Ooh, let's hope she brings her daughter Tiziane as well. She's one of the biggest models here in Brazil. And mother and daughter even posed together in Playboy a few years back. Just one unexpected twist in a life full of them. From worldwide fame to lawsuits from the composer's family. But for a girl that stumbled into the spotlight by chance, she's kept a level head through every twist and turn. You've been all over the world and had so much attention, but I've got to say, I think it's wonderful you still stayed so sweet and nice.
I don't think it's good you stay this way. No, I don't stay more because I am the girl from Panama. No, sure. I stay equal for everybody.
This way. I can't dance. After the break, I head deep into one of the most dangerous favelas in Rio to get a first-hand look at the violent realities of life in the slums and to hear a powerful rendition of Shapeshifters Bring Change. For the last week, I've been traveling around Brazil, meeting with local musicians and exchanging their stories for our music. This country's provided me with so many memorable moments, from the mellow beauty of bossa nova to the energetic explosion of samba, plus a very fruity remix of Shihad in the notorious City of God. My adventure was coming to an end, but there was one more task left to complete. I'd send Shapeshifters Bring Change to one of the most respected groups in Brazil, Afro Reggae. And I've got a journey to the heart of the Vigario Geral favela to hear the results. The Afro Reggae project began in 1993. Its ongoing efforts to uplift the youth of the favelas with music and culture became internationally known with the award-winning 2005 documentary Favela Rising. Hey, yeah. I met with Afro Reggae co-founder Anderson Zay, a former drug trafficker who, after losing his brother in a police massacre, turned his back on crime in favour of trying to change the dire conditions in Vigario Geral. So this year is celebrating 15 years of Afro Reggae, Anderson. I mean, just to give people an idea, what was life like in Vigario Geral 15 years ago?
15 anos atrás, Vigario Geral era uma comunidade bastante violenta. Era uma comunidade onde se tinha muito a presença da criminalidade, da miséria, da falta de oportunidade, da ociosidade. E com a entrada do Afro Reggae aqui, as coisas mudaram. A missão foi de tirar a galera da criminalidade, tirar a galera da ociosidade e fazer com que jovens negros de dentro da favela se tornassem jovens com qualidade profissional, com qualidade cultural, com a informação.
Over the years, they've grown immensely and offer cultural projects not just in Vigario Geral, but favelas all across Rio, hosting workshops in everything from music, sports, circus performance, dance, and of course, percussion. Renowned groups like Banda Macana and Afro Lada have all emerged from these classes and now tour all over the world. A large number of the students here even go on to be teachers themselves. Everybody, this is Amodi. He leads the percussion crew. Amodi, beleza?
Beleza.
Tudo bom?
Tudo bom.
Now, how long have you been involved with Afro Reggae for? And how did you get involved in the project?
Bom, na verdade já estou no Afro Reggae há 10 anos, vou fazer 11 agora em maio. Eu comecei como road, fui do Afrolata. Hoje em dia, por eu ter uma experiência maior com a música, eu sou instrutor da banda do Afro Reggae aqui de Vigário, dou aula para as crianças, dou aula para grupo. Na verdade, na minha aula, eu trabalho com independente de idade. Já dei aula para uma criancinha pequenininha de 4 anos que não sabia nem falar direito, mas eu estava lá, conseguiu dar os seus primeiros toques.
Eu toco na praia 5 meses. Eu gosto de trocar a exposição para trocar os amigos.
Como vocês viram, né, eu sou a única mulher no grupo, por enquanto, tomara que venha mais e mais e mais. Não tem diferença entre homens e mulher, meninas e meninos, não.
The numbers of youth who get involved in crime in the favelas is frightening. For every kid that joins Afro Reggae, there are another 5 lining up to join the drug trade. But still, Afro Reggae are fighting every day to change these figures. Afro Reggae singer Luis Ferreira probably wouldn't even be alive today if it wasn't for the project.
O que me faz feliz, em primeiro lugar, foi que o Afro Reggae salvou a minha vida, né? Afro Reggae, tudo que eu sei, tudo que eu aprendi, né? Culturalmente falando, musicalmente falando. As únicas coisas que tínhamos na comunidade eram os bailes funk e a gente se inspirava mesmo. Tínhamos os traficantes como os nossos ídolos, porque na nossa época eles eram que proporcionavam os melhores momentos da comunidade. Se hoje eu conheço várias partes do mundo, foi graças ao Afro Reggae que me deu uma oportunidade, né? E eu agarrei essa oportunidade como se fosse a única, enfim. O Afro Reggae hoje is my life. My life. Afro Reggae is my life.
In their 15 years, Afro Reggae has brought immense change to favelas like Vigario Geral. And so I sent them an appropriate track to cover. Shapeshifters Bring Change.
Can't let that hold us back this time. You got to change. We got to change.
Afro Reggae took the track into the studio, translated the lyrics into Portuguese, and brought their own Brazilian flavor to a universal message.
Pô, isso sim foi muito bacana, cara. O processo foi muito bacana porque identificou, bateu na hora, rolou na hora. E pelo fato de ser uma música, uma letra, uma história muito séria, né? Muito séria, é uma história de esperança, uma história que fala que realmente a gente tem que mudar, tem que procurar fazer coisas positivas para poder mudar. Adoramos.
Você sabe que a hora e o lugar estão certos.
É melhor deixar tudo de negativo para trás. Não podemos deixar que isso nos segure dessa vez.
Você tem que mudar, você tem que mudar. Nós temos que mudar.
E se você abrir a sua mente, veremos tudo de bonito que há dentro de você. E talvez venceremos essa luta. Essa luta é minha, essa luta é sua. Você sabe que a hora e o lugar estão certos. É melhor deixar tudo de negativo para trás. Não podemos deixar que isso nos segure dessa vez. Você tem que mudar, você tem que mudar.
Nós temos que mudar.
Temos que mudar. Você tem que mudar. Temos que mudar. Você tem que change. You got to, we got to, you got to help us bring change. You got to, we got to learn to connect to bring change. Change.
Sem palavras, cara, é muito bom. You got to, we got... Porra aí, show de bola.
Obrigado, New Zealandonia. Beleza. Making Tracks is brought to you with assistance from our mates at STA Travel.